just have a quick hot flush.
We don't have time.
Can't help it, man. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, fucking hell. Jesus. Well, thought I'd begin our podcast with a hot flush.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So how have you been?
I've been all right. It's been
Good.
bloody warm, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, because now we can moan about that now.
God, it's hot.
Oh, God, it's too hot, isn't it? It's too hot.
So bloody hot.
It's like a stifling heat, my nan
Yeah.
used to say. She used to go, oh, it's stifling. It's stifling in here.
Yeah, she ain't wrong.
Yeah, she ain't wrong. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I've got to take my slippers off. Do you ever find that if you have a hot flush, you suddenly realise how hot your feet are? It's the weirdest thing. I've
Oh
noticed
no,
it.
because now I'm
Oh,
gonna notice it. Thanks for pointing it
oh,
out.
sorry. Haven't you? You've got a nice summer dress on today. Have you not got sandals?
No, I've got a play suit on because who the fuck do you think I am wearing a dress? And I've got trainers.
We have, we have got video evidence of you in a dress. I'm pretty
I have,
sure.
yeah, I do some every now and then. I'll wear a little dress, but
Well,
very, very
I
rarely.
assumed it was one of those times.
No,
Oh, well, it's a
no,
nice,
no.
nice. What is it? Jumpsuit, play suit,
Play
jumpsuit.
suit, yeah, it's like shorts.
Oh,
Just slip it on, but to get it off for a wee, fucking hell.
yeah. You have to get naked.
Absolutely naked. Not cool.
No, not cool.
Not
Do you know
cool.
where I was driving to Liverpool for work the other day, and I had like a playlist of different podcasts that I was listening to, and obviously my playlist that I'd put on there suddenly like came to an end because it was fucking hours, and then it was the weirdest thing, and it's the first time that it's happened to me. I suddenly heard my own voice because obviously I follow our podcast.
Yeah.
And I heard my own voice go, good morning. And then we were like, good morning, good morning.
Who
And I was like, what's happening?
the fuck are these?
And I realized it was it was one of our episodes. And I was like, oh my God, that's the first time it's happened. But I couldn't touch my phone to like get that shit
Turn
off.
it off.
So I ended up like listening to it. But I actually really enjoyed it. It's
What
first
episode was it?
Timothy Dexter.
Oh, was it? I fucking
Yeah.
loved that episode. Loved that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
me and
was
Josie drove to
funny.
Rotherham the other weekend. Or the other weekend, it was on Thursday.
Hmm.
And we listened to Carl Tanzler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that
weird though, isn't
was
it? Hearing yourself, you're like, oh, you're
it's
an
really
idiot.
weird.
Fucking
Yeah.
it. Why are you saying that? What a dick.
Yeah. Why do I keep hesitating? Why do I keep saying
Yeah.
it just irritates me, but
Mine is, why do I laugh like that?
why do I
Fuck's
make that
sake.
noise?
Why do I do that? Fuck off.
Shut your face. Yeah.
Why does
Well,
anybody listen to us?
I enjoyed it, to be fair.
Yeah, they're all right, actually, aren't they?
Yeah, it's all right. Think we're doing an all right job, you know.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I also listened to a couple of other podcasts, and it's a podcast that I listened to way before we even started ours. And I thought, do you know what? I really enjoy it because they don't seem, I don't know if they do, but they don't seem to edit anything out. Like if they make a mistake, they just carry on.
so I listened to a podcast the other day and they also did not edit anything out. And it was driving me fucking mad because she
Oh,
kept stumbling over her words. Every other word, she'd stumble over it and then correct it. And then they're like 3 words later, it stumble over it and then correct it. And then it was a
yeah.
constant thing. And I thought, oh my gosh, it was so interruptive on the episode. And I
Yeah.
know I get words around my neck all the time, but
Yeah. Well, that's the reason that I think we do edit is because I think it disturbs the story when we're sort of like, oh no, I don't mean that. I mean blah 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 blah. I mean,
yeah.
blah, and I think it just disturbs the episode. But I think if it was a lot, then like you were saying, like every other word, stumbling over your words and things like that, then that's an issue. But I guess these girls, they weren't. It was just every now and again they
Yeah.
would sort of say, blah blah. Oh, I mean, blah blah blah, and then they would
Yeah.
carry on,
Yeah,
and
that's
it
fine
and it
because
was fine.
it's like you're just listening to someone talk, like how me and you
Yeah,
talk, and I get words wrong all the time. When we was listening to Cole Tanzer, and I was like, "Oh yeah," and he blew in her math, and I expanded her bosom, and I was like, "I know the word is bosom. I know it. I
yeah,
know."
but sometimes your brain is like two steps ahead. Like you're thinking
Yeah.
about what you've got to say next and things like that, and it just yeah, just gets
Well, I shall tell you why mine is for everybody listening, why I get words wrong all the time. It's
right.
because I was a very avid reader from a very young age and nobody corrected me. So I would read the words like malvolent, bosom, and I would read them how they were written.
Hermione.
Hermione. And those words have stuck in my brain
Yeah.
so that even as an adult, it reaches back for that fucking word that I know is wrong. Because it's
Right.
so instilled in me. So that comes from a place of intelligence.
We love it. Yeah, we love
Yeah,
it. I don't, never change,
never
Sarah.
change.
Never change.
I honestly couldn't even.
No, couldn't if you wanted to, and you don't. So there.
No. So, anyways, I
Mhm.
actually have got a random blam ready, so I'm getting in there. Random blams, go.
I too have a blam ready.
Oh my gosh, go then.
It's a really quick one liner. One strand of spaghetti is called a spaghetto.
Yeah, I did know that.
Blam. There you go.
Done.
Done.
All right. Well, my random blam is that babies don't shed tears until they're about a month old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, them cry, but no tears come out
I know a
because
lot of people like that.
yeah,
Attention
crocodiles.
seeking bastards.
That's what kids are, aren't they? They're attention seeking dickheads.
Well, yeah. Well,
So them are cry, but no tears are coming out because their tear ducts aren't formed yet.
that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, because
Wonder what the
considering
purpose of
all the
that is.
things that
Yeah.
need to be formed, just stay in there until you're fully developed.
Yeah.
But
Like I just
anyways,
walk out.
yeah,
Yeah, just
full
feed
of
yourself. Don't be
that would
crying and manipulating people
oh,
into
absolutely.
coming and feeding you.
They are babies are manipulative, aren't they?
Yeah.
They know.
Oh, do you know, speaking of tears, I was sitting out in the garden the other day and Puppy was out there and she was like enjoying the breeze and lifting her snout to the breeze and it was lovely. And I was sitting there and I was in a thoughtful mood and I put my book down and I was just sitting there letting the breeze go and I was thinking, oh, it's really lovely. It's really lovely, but I should get on with my shit in a minute. And then I looked round and Puppy, honestly, she looked like she was crying. She had
Why?
little tear-filled eyes and that, and she was just looking at me, and I was like, "Oh, oh my heart!" And like it, obviously, instantly threw myself on the floor, and yeah, was like cuddling her and going, "What's wrong? What's wrong, baby? What's wrong?" And yeah, and she was fine. She was wagging her tail, and we rolled on the grass for a bit and all that. And when we got up and went inside, I was like, come on, let's go inside. I'll get you a little treat. You can have a little sweetie and that. So she was bouncing off inside. And when we got inside, we were both like covered, like my skin and like my clothes and that were covered in this real bright yellow, like powder. And I was like, oh, actually, I've got a bit of a sore throat. And I was thinking, oh,
Is it
I'll make a drink.
pollen?
It was fucking pollen.
Yeah.
And I think that's what done her eyes in.
Yeah, a bit hay
When
fever.
I was like brushing her and that and like looking at my hands and it had all bright yellow all over it. And I thought, I think baby had a little bit of like hay fever or something going on.
Yeah.
But I'm glad she wasn't sad.
Yeah, me too. We often look at Caesar and we go, oh, why do you look so sad? What's wrong, Caesar?
Oh,
He's laying on the floor next to me. I go, nothing. I'm asleep.
nothing. I'm fine.
Nothing
Oh,
should ever be wrong with him. I tell you that. He is a
no,
spoiled dog.
he is.
All
We've
right.
got
Does
spoiled babies.
that conclude the blam section?
Yeah, just spaghetti and spaghetto.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
then. Random blams done.
done.
I've got something in my eye.
How are you gonna cry now?
Something in my eye, but I can't rub it too much because I put mascara on. Being an adult is so hard.
It is. All right. Well, while you rub all your mascara off, let's do the intro and then we'll get the fuck on with the story.
Right.
All right.
Right, what have you got for me today?
Well, first of all, morning.
Morning. Morning, morning, morning.
Morning.
We've been watching Police Interceptors, right? And they say everything 3 times, and I've kind of picked up on it because they go, "It's a crash, crash, crash. Left, left, left.
left.
Going right. No, I picked up on it. So
You just said right 4 times.
Did I?
Yeah, you went right.
Well,
You
sometimes
wouldn't be able to be an
I would not be. No, they'd be like, "Where's he going?
Where's Sarah gone?"
Right.
They're like, we're back in the same place.
It's gone in a circle.
No, we've got I forget what they are now. The Police Interceptors something unit. I can't remember what it is because my brain. But when we was all going out, we had like me, Claire, the kids, Tess, all in the car, and we were going. I think we were going to Jimmy's farm, like Ipswich way. And as we drove past, I was talking about the show that they were on, and I said, "Yeah, they're a special, like, intense unit." And on the show, they're on this roundabout. They have one of their like watching points. It's called the pad or something.
Cool.
And I said, "That's on this roundabout." Anyway, as I was sitting at the traffic lights at this roundabout and pointing out this pad, turned round to my left, and their car was literally right next to us. Like that.
Like, get out of the car.
Like, I was watching you on the TV last night. Like that.
And they're like, "Keep both hands on the wheel, ma'am."
And they were like, "Get out the car, ma'am." Yeah. And they was like waving and that. And I was like, oh, nice.
It was celebrity.
Yeah. So today I am doing True or False, Volume 3.
I love these.
So if you haven't heard the first and the second True or False, then it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
No, there's no rules. Well, there is one rule, and that is I will tell you a story and you can tell me whether or not you think it's true or false. I was going to do it a little bit different, and I was going to say I'll just tell you all the stories, and then at the end you can tell me what ones you think was true and false.
I'm
and
not
then
going to remember them.
Then I thought it's too complicated for us, so we'll just stick to what we know, which is just tiny
little bits of information at a time.
Yeah. So first story is the tale of Miracle Mike, the headless chicken. Colorado, 1945. A small farming town. Nothing much happened here until one chicken changed everything. Just trying to be dramatic.
It's true.
Yeah. One day, the farmer, Lloyd Olson, was out in the yard preparing chickens for supper. His mother-in-law was coming over, and apparently she liked the neck meat. And still to this day, no one ever really knows why.
But they ain't really got much of a neck, have they?
Not really.
Not much meat of chicken
it's
neck.
like, it's like gristle and like bone. Yeah, but so no one knows why, but she really liked the neck meat. So Lloyd, the farmer, he goes up to the little rooster that they called Mike, and he grabs him and he swings his axe And the axe misses its mark, sort of. It cuts off most of Mike's head, but somehow misses the jugular vein and leaves parts. It left part of the brainstem and one ear intact. So it was kind of like across from his ear. Instead of collapsing, Mike picked himself up, shook himself off, and strutted away, headless, but weirdly alive. Lloyd and his wife, Clara, were stunned.
So,
And
like
then,
the top of the head.
well, all of his head, but it just because their ears are kind of quite low on their head and neck. So he kind of cut it. His head came off,
Right.
but left like one ear.
Right.
And that's it. So, but yeah, they were like fascinated by this, and they were like, "How's he got up from that? Like, we've literally just cut his head off." And they thought, well, instead of like, there's something special about Mike, clearly. So instead of finishing him off, let's see if we can take care of him. So Mike is fed with an eyedropper with a mixture of milk and water. And later they gave him grain. And they would literally just drop it straight into the open
stop it.
neck hole. He was walking and he balanced himself quite well. And he would even try and preen himself with no head. So his neck would just wiggle around like he was trying to clean himself. He gained weight. He thrived. Neighbours would come to see him, and he was known as the chicken who cheated death. Or if that had been modern day, he would have been the chicken that lived. And he would have been like...
nearly headless Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, he would.
Nearly headless? How can you be nearly headless?
Yeah, and then Mike could rock up with his neck hole.
This is how.
Well, he wouldn't even be able to do that, would he? He didn't have a beak to begarg with. He was completely begargless. Lloyd packs Mike up and hits the road, and he does sideshow tours across the US from Salt Lake City to New York. People would pay 25 cents to see Mike, the headless chicken, and they were lining up. Mike rakes in about $4,500 a month.
Jeez.
And in today's money, that would be over 60 grand a month. He even made it into Time magazine. So chickens' brains are mostly in the brainstem, so not like right up in the top of the head. And it controls basic motor functions. Since that part of Mike was left intact, he could still walk, balance, and perform basic movements. Basically, Mike had just enough brain to keep going. And in a motel room while they were on tour in Phoenix, Mike started to choke during the night on a piece of grain. And the feeding / cleaning tools that they used for Mike's neck hole, they left at the last venue.
Oh no.
And they weren't able to clear his throat in time, and Mike passed away, sadly. But not from decapitation, but because he choked on his dinner. Frutia, Colorado, refuses to let Mike be forgotten. Every year they hold the Mike the Headless Chicken Festival. There is live music, chicken dance contests, and a 5K run. And the 5K run is named Run Like a Headless Chicken.
That's hilarious.
And there are plenty of poultry-themed food and games. The end.
Well, That's tough because I know
It's
that
tough.
there is a story about a chicken that's lived for a month or something without his head. I can't remember how long it was. He lived without his head. I don't know whether it was Mike, but the story sounds like it should be false because it's absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably true.
Right. What are our listeners saying? Make your choice now. I'll give you a minute. True or false? Can you hear them, Sarah?
They're saying true.
They're saying true, I think. And you would be right. That is completely true. Mike, the headless chicken, bless him.
How long did he live for then without his head?
I knew you were going to ask me that, and I don't know.
Oh,
Is the answer? I don't know, but I mean, he went on tour for quite a long time.
must have been
So,
a few months at least.
oh yeah, good few months. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was raking it in, old Mike. Okay, story number 2. Stubbs the cat. So, Tolkit Tolkietanah Tolkietanah. I can't pronounce it. I could pronounce it, but in Alaska, a quirky historic town with a population of a few hundred humans, and as it turns out, one feline politician. Nestled at the base of Mount Denali, it's the kind of place where locals have a sense of humour and a soft spot for the unusual. So we would get on right there. In 1997, the town was in a bit of a political funk. No candidate was inspiring much confidence or excitement. And then a tiny orange tabby kitten was born into a litter at the local vet's office. One of the town's shop owners, Nagley's General Store, fell in love with this kitten and jokingly suggested that he should be written in as a candidate for mayor because none of the other candidates were any good and he was popular. The residents, fed up with traditional politics, embraced the idea with full pause. Sorry, full force. And so Stubbs, did he sign any legislation? No. Did he make speeches? No, although he did purr. But Stubbs did excel at lounging regally on the counter of Nagley's General Store, greeting locals and charming tourists. His main office was a cardboard box or a sun-drenched windowsill. Proper power nap politics. Tourists from all over the world came just to see him. He posed for thousands of photos, often perched on the counter or chilling in a flower pot outside the store. Sometimes he'd drink a catnip-laced water from a wine glass, like the dignitary he was. Local businesses used his likeness in promotional material, and in this town, Stubbs was the brand. News outlets picked up his story. He was on CNN, NPR, even international media. People who didn't know Alaska from Antarctica suddenly knew about Talkeetna thanks to its whiskered leader. At one point, he had over 30,000 followers on Facebook, more than most small town politicians could dream of. He was once mauled by a dog and had to spend a few days in recovery, prompting a flurry of get well, Mayor Stubbs messages from around the globe. Another time, he hopped on in a tourist's car and nearly hitched a ride completely out of town. But nothing kept Stubbs down for long. He bounced back every time, like the political cat with 9 lives. Stubbs served as honorary mayor for a whopping 20 years, far longer than most human politicians would last without being voted out, anyway.
How long do cats live?
Well, we had a cat that was 27.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, I know. He looked like he died about 15 years before that as well. Honestly, we loved him, but he just went so gross. But anyway, Stubbs, Mayor Stubbs, passed away peacefully in 2017, leaving the town in mourning and the internet in full-blown tribute mode. Locals didn't replace him immediately. How could they? He'd set the bar too high and far too fluffy. He wasn't just a quirky mascot. He became the symbol of the town's charm, independence, and their sense of humour. Stubbs proved that leadership doesn't have to be loud or complicated. Sometimes it takes a calm demeanour, a good nap schedule, and the ability to look majestic in the sunlight. So just to wrap up on reflection, I have a quote for you. In a world full of political drama and division, one little orange cat reminded us that all the best leaders might just be the ones who sit quietly, listen well, and occasionally demand tuna. So what do we think? Mayor Stubbs, true or false?
Oh gosh, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? However, I can see it happening, and I think there's so much detail and information in there that I feel like it's true.
It is true. He was honorary fluffy mayor for over 20 years.
To be fair, we could do with a couple of them over here, couldn't we? Because
I'd love a fluffy mayor.
A couple of cat politicians would probably do us the world of good.
Yeah, although probably not. Yeah, probably not my cat Billy.
He'd be Susie.
Oh, Susie would be a right dictator.
Look what she did to me.
Oh, bloody hell. Sarah's got a big scratch across her hand.
Bloody hell, he did. There's two there. Massive scratches.
Goodness.
Not bad.
What were you doing to deserve that?
I was an innocent bystander.
What was someone else doing to Susie for you to get that?
What happened was I was laying in bed and getting snuggly. I was just laying there. Susie was on Josie's side on top of the cover, and she's a big cat, man. Yeah. So Josie lifted the cover to get the cat off. She just fucking went berserk at me. Like it was my issue, and then fucked off, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
Not only did she do that, she punched me in the belly.
Proper violent.
All four paws straight in the belly before she legged it.
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't think I'd vote for Susie to be mayor.
I would not. I would vote for Susie to be mayor, and then I'd assassinate her.
Oh, harsh.
No, man. Well, yeah, so true.
Okay, yep, absolutely true. Bless her, bless him, bless everyone.
Good save.
Yeah, I was thinking about Susie. I was like, yeah, bless her. And then I thought, oh, hang on, Stubbs was a him. Yeah, bless everyone. Okay, next story is similar to a story that you've done in the past, but not that. So
this is not Bunny Man again, is it?
It's the story of Bunny Man. This is the story of the woman who fell 33,000 feet without a parachute and survived.
That's not Juliana Kopke, is it?
It's not.
Oh, because that is true.
Yeah. So it's 1972. The Cold War's still simmering. Air travel is glamorous, a little bit edgy, but not quite as secure as it is today. Vesna, a 22-year-old Serbian flight attendant working for JAT Yugoslav Airlines, is on a flight from Stockholm to Belgrade with a stop in Copenhagen. Important side note, Vesna was not supposed to be on that flight. You're not looking it up, are you?
No.
Okay. Just keeping an eye on you because you're a feisty one.
I'm not trying to cheat.
Due to a scheduling mix-up, she was mistaken for another flight attendant with the same first name. She realised this was mix up, but she decided she'd take the shift anyway. But fate had plans for her. On January 26th, 1972, just 46 minutes into the flight, whilst cruising at 33,000 feet, that's over 10 kilometers up, a bomb exploded on the aircraft. The plane literally blew apart over what is now the Czech Republic. Everyone on board is presumed dead, except one. Vesna was trapped inside the section of the rear fuselage, and she'd been pinned by a food cart. I mean, that's where I'd be. I'd be with the food cart.
Yeah.
If they were like, we're going down, I'd be like, where's the food cart? And then I'd like snout as much as I could. I don't think that's what she was doing, but so as that part of the plane fell, the bit where she was pinned, spiraling towards the ground, she was trapped, like sandwiched in it. And below was a dense snow-filled forest, and it was very steep and it was completely tree covered. And all of this kind of made like an air cushion, because she was trapped in this piece of plane, and then it landed onto trees that were covered in snow. The ground had snow on, but the impact was still brutal, but somehow she survived. Vesna was discovered by a former World War II medic who heard her scream amongst the wreckage. She'd suffered a fractured skull, 2 broken legs, 3 broken vertebrae, one which left her temporarily paralyzed, and multiple crushed ribs and internal injuries. She slipped into a coma for several days, but against every possible odd, she woke up. Months in hospital, multiple surgeries, intense physical therapy. She never regained full use of her legs, but she could walk again within about 10 months. And doctors had already said to her that they didn't think that walking again was even on the table. Vesna was awarded the Guinness World Record for surviving the highest fall without a parachute. Vesna passed away in 2016 at the age of 66.
Oh.
But her story still stands as one of the most surreal and inspiring tales of human survival. The end.
So we obviously did the Juliana Kopke episode, and she fell 33,000 feet, strapped to a chair, and the motion of the spinning of the chair acted as like slowed the descent down.
Yeah.
She then had to survive in the wilderness, things like that. I have never, while researching that case, I didn't come across this other case with the Guinness World Record. So I'm going to say it's false.
Okay, that's very well thought out.
Yeah.
All right, what do you guys think? True or false? Make your guess now. All right, well, I've waited long enough. I think I can hear everyone going, I know what I think. So that story was absolutely true.
Wow.
I know. I was surprised as well, because I was like, this has got to be the story that Sarah told, because it's similar. But then when I started looking into it, I was like, oh, no, because she wasn't a flight attendant.
No.
She was with her mum. And I was like, no, that can't be it. So yeah, so I looked into it, and yeah, it's true.
Oh, well, good on her.
Yeah, good on her.
Fuck that fall, though. I don't even like doing
no.
a little like jump. Yeah, the swing is too much of a descent for me sometimes. If you're on this, or a slide, you go down a slide, that sense of falling or dropping.
I don't even like driving fast over a humpback bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, I do as well.
Whoop, and it turns your belly at no.
It really
not for
does. My
me.
belly's so sensitive with those things. If we go, there's a massive bridge over here, and I didn't realize the drop of it until I went flying over it at 40 mile an hour the first time, and I was like, "Holy shit!" But now you have to go over it really slowly. But I didn't know that when I first went over it. But that the drop on that, my belly goes.
Yeah. I'm just terrified of heights, really, really terrified of heights and falling from them.
Yes,
It's
I
not for
didn't.
me. I'm not about to do a bungee jump. I'm not about to jump out of a plane. I mean,
No.
she didn't choose to be fair, but yeah, I
Yeah.
just think my heart would give out.
That's
I really
exactly what
do.
would happen to me. The fear, I've always said to Josie, she's like, "Oh, you need to do a bungee jump." And I was like, "Why? Why do I need to put myself through that amount of fear just to
Yeah.
experience something that I might enjoy? I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm always going to look back and go, that was fucking terrifying. Why on earth would I want to do that? No, thank you."
Yeah. And what if that's the one time that the like as you're going 3, 2, 1, you go, oh wait a minute, my ankles come out of the oh wait a minute, my thing's not clicked on her. Because that'd be me. It would be like I'd spend my whole life saying to everyone, "No, I'm not doing it. I'd never do it. You'd never catch me doing it." And then in the end, I'd go, "All right, fine." And then I would die, and
Yeah.
everyone would go, "Oh, do you know what? I think she had a bit of a sixth sense about that."
Yeah. Well, this is why I don't like smoke. I've never done drugs. I don't smoke or anything like that because I knew if I ever did anything like that, I'd be allergic to it and I'd die.
Well, why
I
not?
feel
I
it. I
mean,
feel it in my bones.
yeah. I mean, just be as safe as you can.
Absolutely. You get one life. Why jeopardize it?
Yeah. Right. On to story number 4. This is the last one. And this is the Great Squid Storm of 1983. It's the day it rained cephalopods in Nebraska. So, July 17th, 1983, Grand Ridge, Nebraska. Population just under 600. It's a scorcher of a summer. I can't say it. Wheat fields waving, wheat wheels waving, tractors humming, lemonade sweating in mason jars on every porch.
Mm.
And then the skies go dark, very dark, and weirdly fishy. Earl Slick McKinney, a local handyman, drives a bright orange Chevy pickup. Cool car. He was known for fixing fences, brewing illegal cherry moonshine, and having extremely strong opinions about the moon landing. That morning, Earl is on his roof patching a weather vane shaped like a cowboy boot when he sees something falling from the sky. And it wasn't from the story before. It wasn't Vesna. At precisely 11:47 a.m., a 3-foot squid slaps down in front of Macy Carter's antique store.
It's funny
Macy,
that you said slaps because that's exactly what it would do.
yeah,
Slap.
yeah, smack. Macy, who hadn't moved that fast since disco dancing was a thing, ran inside screaming, "The ocean is mad at us." Within minutes, the entire town is bombarded by a torrential downpour of squid. And not just baby ones, they were giant Humboldt squids, usually found 2,000 miles away in the deep Pacific. People diving for cover, kids were crying. A confused mailman was hit square on in the chest by a particularly large, angry looking squid. Reverend Thomas Holbrook declares it is a sign of the end of times and begins baptizing people in a local kiddie pool. Earl
Full of squid.
McKinney, yeah, throwing out the squid, slapping him in the face. Earl McKinney, ever the opportunist, starts collecting squid in coolers and muttering something about starting up Nebraska Sushi Co. Local news reports it as a freak weather event caused by a rare combination of a waterspout over the Pacific and a jet stream collision. I'm guessing it's something to do with the
like a tornado, isn't it?
Part of the ocean being sucked up into the air, and then the jet stream would
Push it
fire
down.
it that way. But here's the kicker. No other towns report on it. Not one. Apparently the weather radar clean. No squid incoming, nothing. The closest squid habitat is apparently over 1,800 miles away. A cryptozoologist from the University of Iowa, who just happened to be driving through, claimed that he felt it was some sort of cover-up for a classified military test involving bioengineered combat cephalopods, like infected cephalopods. And they had been dropped as a test from a high altitude weather balloon. He suggests that the squid were never meant to land, just disperse into the jet stream and see what happens. Whilst loading the squid into the back of his truck, Earl found one with a tiny metal tag embedded in the side of its eye. And the tag read Project Wet Claw. No one, including the military, will confirm or deny the name. The squid mysteriously vanished by morning. They hadn't rotted, they hadn't been scavenged, they'd just gone. And Slick McKinney said that he swears that he heard and saw black helicopters fly over his property at approximately 3 a.m. The squid storm was a small town legend. Every year, Grand Ridge holds the Festival of the Flying Tentacle. I mean, that could get your tongue twisted around that.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. Complete with rubber squid tosses, calamari cook-offs, and the crown
calamari
cook-offs, and a crown for Miss Ink Nebraska.
Gosh.
Earl Slick McKinney died in 2009, and on his truck he still had a bumper sticker that said, "I survived the Great Squid Storm." And they say lightning never strikes twice, but if you visit Nebraska in mid-July, maybe bring an umbrella just in case the squid fall again. The end.
So I was going to go, I feel like a jet, because it has happened before where like a tornado picks up fish from a pond or something like that, and then it rains fish. Squid live so deeply in the ocean that I feel like it wouldn't suck them up from that, and it wouldn't just be squid either. It'd be squid and then other fish and stuff around. It wouldn't just be squid. So I was basing my thing on false, going, I don't think that would happen. But then you start saying about the tag and the military and stuff like that, and I think if that is true, they're wasting a lot of money. Like, what a waste of money.
I've got a story very similar to that coming up.
Oh, great. Well, I feel like it should be false.
It should be false.
Yeah, I'm gonna go false. I think it's bollocks.
All right.
Even if it's true, I think they're lying.
What do the harsh? What do our listeners think? True or false? Oh, interesting. Huh? So that story was completely 100% false.
Right.
I made it up.
Good one.
I like the idea of a squid storm.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'd cook them.
What
What did you call the operation? Floor.
Wet claw.
Operation Wet Claw. You could have come up with some real funny names. Sucker
I know.
Punch.
Slappy.
Could have come up with some real great ones.
Oh no, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there you go. True or false, done. I was gonna do a little like hidden gem in as much as I was gonna just do all of them true. And then I thought, oh, I
Yeah.
could do all of them false. And then I thought, yeah, but I like these stories. So.
Yeah, don't fuck about with the algorithm.
Yeah, I know. Well, there you go. Thank you for all taking part.
All
and
right,
those of you that didn't take part and guess true or false, then you're out of order. Put a lot of work into that. Thanks.
Yeah, that was cool. I like them.
Cool.
Fun.
Yeah. All right. Oh, are you gonna go and have a little nap? Are you so sleepy?
I had a decent sleep. I don't know why I'm so sleepy.
Oh,
Sleepy girl.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, I'll see you all on the next one. All right. Bye.
Bye. If you have enjoyed listening to our episodes, make sure you rate us and leave us a review on whatever platform you are listening.
We absolutely love hearing from you guys. So you can also help support our show by donating to our Buy Me a Coffee link. We will make sure that you get a massive shout out and a big thank you in our next week's episode.
You can also follow us on social media at Perplexed Podcasts. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and if you want to see more videos and blooper reels, subscribe to our TikTok and YouTube channels.
You can also email us your stories at perplexedpodcasts@gmail.com.
And you can find all the relevant links in the episode descriptions. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.